Welcome to the Amitrace podcast, day number 2 at the STN National Convention in Tampa, Florida. I am joined today by Brian Raymond from Ikan. Brian, you've been with us day 1 and day 2, so thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
It's been a pleasure. This is first time back in Tampa for many years, and it's a pleasure to see the city and the students and the teachers and the energy in the room.
And Ikan is one of those things that, for me as a former educator, I knew Ikan existed. And it's one of those that everybody, I feel like in education, they know it exists. You think of a variety of things, tripods, camera supports. Teleprompters is the biggest thing that comes to mind for me with Ikan, because it's one of those things that is a real differing point in the programs. And you either have teleprompters or you don't, and the degree of production immediately steps up. Talk about your teleprompters and why your stuff is different.
So the teleprompters at Ikan have progressed. I've been at Ikan since 2012, and we had models that were very heavy, bulky, hard to set up, not intuitive, and just very hard, I would say, not great for students or educators. And over time, we've adapted that system and progressed to a point where we have teleprompters from tablet-based 12-inch, 15-inch, 17-inch, 19-inch, and now we're moving into 21-inch, and we have models dedicated for PTZ cameras.
And last week I was at the Skills USA Georgia State Conference, and Ikan donated teleprompters for us to use for the video news contest. And you talk about the simplicity. There were 3 separate teleprompters, 3 different sizes, 3 different models, and the guy that was setting them up is a teacher, and he didn't require the instructions. He never opened the instructions. He just looked at it and went, okay, so that means a lot that a teacher can come off the street, no instruction manual, and build the teleprompter and make it work really well. In addition to teleprompters, you guys do pedestals, tripods, that kind of stuff. But here this week, we're showing off your lights, and that's the best we can do to make me look good are these lights. But they're special lights. They're POE, and that's a big thing. For us as integrators, it's important because it's fewer cables to run, fewer places where things can go wrong. Talk about the development of the POE lights and the importance in education of those.
Well, I'll tell you, Amitrace, and for us specifically, was a big part in the drive and push for us to develop these lights. We've been working and developing POE before the POE standard got to 90 watts, and we've been slowly building up to this point where we have 3 lights now available for POE. And what that allows a company like Amitrace and schools is the ability to install lights without getting electricians, getting permits, getting contractors into the building. And so the ease of installation, the ease of use and setup and diagnostics and everything that goes with POE lighting is far superior to something that legacy systems that we were dealing with.
And as an integrator now, one of the things that's great for us is the troubleshooting is so much simpler. It's one cable. Previously, it could be a power supply gone bad. It could be a DMX it's out of chain. It could be a variety of things. With these, it's one cable from a switch of some sort to the light, and you have power, you have control, you have all of that. And the other great benefit for us is schools that have non-traditional studios, so they don't have piping. They have a drop ceiling, a couple of clamps on the drop ceiling and a baby pin, and we can now run all those cables on top of the drop ceiling, which fire marshals like much better than trying to hide those the power supplies. What are some of the other benefits, with these installations with POE?
So you mentioned the low voltage aspect, and also once you're going into POE, we've gone to ArtNet or streaming ACN, and what that allows you to do is once the DMX, the light's being controlled over this IP protocol, anyone, anywhere that's on that network can control the lights, or if you're on a wireless instance of ArtNet, you can control the lights on a tablet or an iPad or a phone in the room, just like someone doing front of house sound would walk around the room with a tablet for the mixer levels. So too can you now control the lights where the camera's seeing, and do that in real time.
And that's such a beautiful thing, because when it comes to programming those studios, it can be cumbersome after a while. So where can people go and find out more information about your lights, or really all of your products?
So ikancorp.com, IKANCORP.com. I know Amitrace has some of our lights. in their showroom now, and we're going to make sure that there's always some POE lights there so people can especially come and see the podcasting solution they have. Our lights, specifically the LBX8 POE, was built for podcasting rooms and drop ceilings and scissor clamps. So it's really part of that whole process.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more from the STN National Conference soon.
Thank you.